that's the thing with Dallas Glenn. You go to do something, he steps right in your way and does it. I can't do nothing. Except for work on his car.
How you doing? I'm Dallas Glenn, driver of the Rad Torque Systems Pro Stock Camaro for KB Titan Racing.
So I know you have a lot of work to do here, Dallas. We're going to kind of follow you around. It's bring your favorite Courtney Andrews to work day today and kind of get to figure out why you have all of these duties. You just put your driving suit in the car, so you're a driver, but you're putting up the awning, so you're kind of jack of all trades, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm still a normal crew guy around here. I got a lot of bracket racing buddies too. I drive Greg Anderson's truck, which also hauls my car at the same time. So I'm also responsible for setting up the awnings and making sure the inside of the rig is nice and clean and ready for race day, as well as getting the cars unloaded and turned around.
How did this start? You were a crew guy first, right? Take us all the way back to when you first started with KB.
I first started 12 years ago, and they hired me as the tire guy and back half guy for Jason Line. And within the first year, I was had my CDL and was driving the truck as well. So I just kind of learned from there. I was doing tires, I was doing the back half, then I learned how to do rear gears. Then eventually they had to toss me into being a clutch guy unexpectedly when the clutch guy broke his hand. I actually flew into Houston and they told me Friday morning, by the way, you're going to do the clutch this weekend because he broke his hand. So I was like, okay, well, I guess, because I hope I paid attention.
So how did the transition happen from Dallas Glenn, basically, this is Flo, we can say this, back half bitch, to like fighting for world championships?
Well, when Jason was, in his words, quitting and Bo was retiring, there was a couple open cars available, and I have an extensive back racing background, and I had been testing factory showdown cars for KB Titan at that point. So I just went out and was lucky enough to get hooked up with Shane Thompson with Silver State and Dan Provost with Rad Torque Systems, and they sponsored me to start out for 4 races. We started doing pretty good, and eventually Dan Provost with Rad Torque Systems just hopped on board, and this is 4 years later.
But you didn't just like hop into a pro stock car. You come from a drag racing background.
Yeah, I've raced just about every single sportsman category. I mean, top sportsman, top dragster, super gas, super comp, you name it, stock eliminator. I finished in the top 10 in the world back in, I think, 2011 in stock. So, you know, I wasn't, you know, unfamiliar with the driving duties. Like I said, I was testing factory showdown cars for, you know, KB Racing while they were building engines. So, you know, as far as a high horsepower car, and plus I'd watch these guys make tens of thousands of runs between testing and racing, so I kind of had a good idea what to do in them.
Now you may have had a good idea. These cars, everybody says no matter what class they run, right? Like this is the toughest class to drive well. So you hop in this thing, back up to Dallas back then when you first got that opportunity when Jason quote unquote quit. We all know how that goes. I have one over there with Jeg.
Yeah.
But could you even like fathom that you would be where you're at today? With literally the last few years, you have been heavy in the mix, and by the time we watch this, you very well may be the NHRA Pro Stock champion.
That's going to be a tall order still, but the no, it started off, you know, I jumped in it, and I felt pretty comfortable, which was kind of weird because after working on them for I think 9 years at that point, the first time I had ever sat in one of these cars while it was running was when I went to go make my first license run. So that was a little bit strange, you know. It was a little nerve-wracking right at the beginning, but I felt actually strangely comfortable in them. They're very comfortable cars. You know, there's a lot going on in them, which I think some of my bracket racing experience kind of comes into play because there's so much stuff going on. So, you know, it was a pretty steep learning curve. You know, don't do this, try to do that, try to get more comfortable in it, and I just kept picking away at the little things, and eventually it got to where I didn't have to think about doing things anymore, and we could start working on some of the more tough things.
So, as we've seen from this video, you're very different than the rest of the drivers, right? Like, a lot of these guys and gals aren't even here yet. They're off on some sponsored field trip or just flying in here. You still actually do everything. So kind of define your role here and some of the tasks that you do that not a lot of other drivers do.
In PG-13 terms, I am the shit show supervisor around here. I've kind of taken on the role of just kind of coordinating everything and making sure everything goes smoothly as far as how the pit's laid out. You know, this weekend we have an extra hospitality tent, so trying to move everything around, get everything organized, parked correctly, making sure everybody gets here and goes the correct way and doesn't get caught in a hurricane or anything like that.
Oh gosh.
So, you know, I've been driving a truck for 12 years, so I kind of know all the routes. I know the ways to go. I know where the good stops are, where, you know, the RV dumps are, and the good truck washes. So everybody kind of comes to me when they need a little advice here or there. But, you know, when we get here, then I just kind of make sure everything gets organized, set up, and ready to go for race day.
Do you ever foresee yourself like fully getting into that princess driver mode, or will you always do what you do?
I don't know if I could fully commit to that. Eventually, maybe it would be nice to not have to drive the truck.
I think you'd be bored.
Yeah, I think I would be a little bit bored. If I wasn't working on the car during the race, I guarantee I'd probably be a way worse driver, because I would be so bored. I'd be in my head. I'd be off distracted doing something else. So, no, I can always see working on the car, at least in some capacity, whether it's the engine, the back half, the clutch, the transmissions, just waxing it in between runs, or just, I got to be doing something. I've always found that the more distracted I can keep myself, the less distracted I am when it matters.
So last chunk of the Dallas that we're gonna get here, I came up to you when we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do for the Road to Bradenton series. I said, do you have any fun talents? Do you have stuff you like to do? Like, what's something that we can exemplify of Dallas Glenn that's not this? He said, I have no talents, and I have no time to do anything. And so then we kind of thought, well, we'll just well-round you here. So shifting into at home. When you guys are at the shop, what are your roles there? Is it the same kind of deal where you get to just completely be the grunt?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, we get back, they kind of have me in charge of making sure all the trucks and trailers get serviced, or if anything's broken, get fixed, or move this here or there. Anytime we go testing, I'm the truck driver that goes testing, because I don't know, maybe they just don't trust anybody to drive the new truck and trailer yet. But so, and then I completely go through my car and service everything, and then just take cars apart, scale them, put them back together. Anything that anybody needs help with, I'm the guy. If there's any rear gears that need to do, I take care of all the rear gears for all the KV Titan cars. So there's a lot of stuff to do. There's never a shortage. If anything, it's almost kind of nice having a week off every now and then, just so I can catch up on some of the small stuff.
At work.
At work.
Now, you may not think of yourself this way, but a little lady that we just acquired from you guys, Sienna Wildgust, very much considers you a huge part to why she's able to get in one of these cars and race. You know, so going from the whole journey that we just discussed here, you're now a mentor to some of these younger drivers that come in. You have Camry coming in, obviously. You may not be teaching Greg Anderson stuff, or you may be teaching Greg Anderson stuff, but have you even considered that to be part of your role?
Not entirely. I mean, anytime anybody comes up and asks me, you know, opinions on driving technique or anything like that, I'm always happy to give, you know, the way I do things, which may not always be the best, because I'm a little weird and I'm a little crazy with some stuff. So, but you know, one thing that I've noticed anytime I'm trying to help somebody is, you know, I have a lot of patience, and you know, you can't expect to go out and do stuff perfect the first time. So if you just pick away at the little things, and I kind of help them, hey, you know, that was great on that one. Try do, you know, this one thing. Try to focus on that on the next one.
Last little bit I want to get into of Dallas the human being. You're wearing the hat. We all talk about it. You spend so much time on the road. It's tough to have a family life and to have real life out here, but your wife goes along this journey with you.
She flew in before I did.
Yeah, I tried to get with her today to schedule. She's basically like, I'm busy with my clients, go find them.
Yeah, no, it's nice. My wife comes to every race. She does PR and social media for, I think she has like
a lot of teams. 20
clients this weekend, sportsmen and pros. She's always out here at all the races, which is really nice. Definitely helps with that aspect. And another thing that helps is she's fairly, you know, laid back as far as what she needs to do for me. You know, if we have an off weekend and I want to go do something, it's not, no, I want you to stay home so we can go and, you know, shop for furniture or something.
Do normal people stuff?
Yeah, it's, you know, I say, hey, I want to go golfing, and she's like, good, I can take a nap, leave. I don't want you around here, you annoy me. So we spend a lot of time together on the road, which is really nice. You know, there's a lot of teams that a lot of people that don't have that.
It is nice. So transition into the end of this about the reason we're talking to you, the PRO Superstar Shootout. Give us your input on last year. Did you have fun? Did you wish you didn't go? Are you excited for this year?
Oh, I had a blast. I just wish I didn't go red to stinking Dave Connolly down there. I would have had him beat pretty easily there, but no, anytime you race somebody like Dave Connolly, you got to go for it. I went for it, and I went red and paid the price. But no, it was a lot of fun. It was great to go out and do something slightly different than the normal kind of NHRA routine. You know, even though you still see the same people, you know, the routine was a little bit different, the schedule was a little bit different, so it kind of changed it up, and it's nice to try different perspectives, and it's a great race. It's big money, and I absolutely love racing for big money. It really turns on that pressure, so you know, it's definitely going to be a fun race again this year. We're back in Bradenton, as long as it's still there and didn't get washed away. With
I heard. I think it's doable.
I think it's good. I think I saw some grandstands, but you know, you can fix those. But it's a great race to be. You know, it was really cool to see all the fans that down there. It was a great turnout, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun again.
Yeah.
I'm Dallas Glenn, driver of the Radford Systems Pro Stock Camaro. I'll be in Bradenton come February. Hopefully you will be too.